Imagine this: a bride draped in a dazzling white gown, 3-inch perfect except her face, which is completely concealed behind a heavy, ornate mask of beads and embroidery. She sits still, silent, not a single word leaving her lips. All around her, hundreds of villagers gather, their laughter and music filling the air. But beneath the celebration, there's a quiet tension, because they're not just here to witness her wedding, they're here to guard her from something unseen, something they believe could curse her future. This isn't a scene from a fantasy film or an ancient legend. It's real, and it unfolds every single year in a small Bulgarian village. They call it the Sad Bride Festival, one of the most haunting and mysterious wedding traditions on Earth. Welcome to the Humans Archive, the place where we uncover the world's strangest events, forgotten traditions, and extraordinary stories from every corner of the globe. Today, we're stepping inside a wedding ritual unlike anything you've ever seen, a moment where love meets superstition, and centuries-old beliefs still hold their grip on the present. By the time we're done, you'll know why. For generations, Bulgarian brides have sat in complete silence, their faces hidden behind intricate masks, and why their grooms must wait until the very last moment to see the woman they've married. Our story takes us to the remote village of Rubnovo, perched high in Bulgaria's Rhodope Mountains. Here, life moves at a gentle pace, and traditions aren't just remembered, they're woven into everyday life. Among them is the Sad Bride Festival, a ritual so old, no one can recall its true beginning. This isn't a show for tourists, and it isn't done for the cameras. It's a sacred custom, passed down through generations, marking one of the most important moments in a woman's life. In the weeks before the wedding, the whole village becomes a stage for preparation. Families gather to cook enormous feasts. Musicians rehearse melodies that have echoed here for centuries, and skilled hands work tirelessly on the intricate beadwork and embroidery of the bride's gown. When it's finished, she will shine brighter than any jewel, even if her face remains hidden from the world. On the morning of her wedding day, the bride steps into a shimmering white gown, layers of delicate fabric catching the light with every movement. But the dress is only the beginning. The centerpiece of her transformation is the mask, a thick coat of white paint, applied so carefully it hides every trace of skin. Over it, her family and friends place tiny sequins, glass beads, and hand-stitched patterns in bright reds, golds, and blues, creating a design that's as dazzling as it is mysterious. To someone seeing it for the first time, it can feel almost surreal, even unsettling to watch a human face vanish beneath so much color and ornament. But for the people of Rubnovo, this is far more than decoration. The mask is a shield, a sacred armor believed to guard the bride from the evil eye, from jealous thoughts, and from restless spirits that might wander too close on her wedding day. Only once the celebrations are complete will the groom finally lift that mask and see his bride's true face. Once the mask is in place, the bride becomes a figure of almost otherworldly stillness. She sits perfectly straight, hands resting neatly in her lap. She does not speak, she does not laugh, she does not cry. Her eyes hidden behind the ornate mask take in everything around her, but give nothing away. To an outsider, it might seem like an act of shyness or solemnity, but here in Rubnovo, it's far more than that. In Bulgarian folklore, words are powerful, and on a wedding day, they can be dangerous. It's believed that speaking could draw the attention of malevolent spirits or jealous eyes. Silence, they say, forms an invisible barrier, keeping the bride safe until she steps across the threshold into her new life as a wife. Meanwhile, the groom waits nearby. He knows his bride is close, just a few steps away, yet tradition demands he can't lift her mask, can't even glimpse her face, until the final moment. That instant, when the music quiets, the guests lean in, and the mask is removed, is the most emotional heartbeat of the entire ceremony, a private unveiling witnessed by all. Historians believe the sad bride tradition reaches back hundreds of years, perhaps even further, blending traces of pre-Christian pagan rituals with the customs of Orthodox Christianity that came later. In its earliest days, life here in the mountains was harsh and uncertain. Before modern medicine, Before wedding planners and glossy photo albums, people turned to ritual as their safeguard. Every step of the ceremony carried meaning, promises of safety, fertility, and prosperity for the new couple. One belief loomed especially large: the evil eye. The idea that envy, resentment, or even an ill-timed compliment could bring real misfortune. For the villagers of Rybnovo, this wasn't superstition to be taken lightly. It was a threat as real as illness or hunger. And so, the bride's mask became more than an ornament. Layer by layer, with paint, beads, and shimmering sequins, they built a kind of spiritual armor, a barrier to shield her from those invisible forces. To the outside world, it might look like tradition, but to them, it was protection against an enemy they believed could strike at any moment. The Sad Bride Festival isn't just a wedding, the village-wide spectacle. From the earliest hours of the morning, neighbors, relatives, and lifelong friends begin pouring into the bride's family home. The rooms fill with the sound of traditional folk songs, voices weaving together in harmonies that have been sung here for generations. Outside, the steady rhythm of drums and the bright notes of the gaida, Bulgarian bagpipe, drift through the narrow streets. Everywhere you turn, there's movement. Women in embroidered dresses carry trays of steaming bread fresh from the oven, their scent mixing with the smoky aroma of roasting meat. Children dart between guests, laughing, while the elders gather in clusters to share stories and blessings for the young couple. And here lies the striking contrast. In the center of it all, the bride remains silent, perfectly still, hidden behind her ornate mask. She does not speak a single word. Around her, the celebration is anything but quiet, loud, colorful, and bursting with life. It's a living symbol, a farewell to the life she's leaving behind, and a jubilant welcome to the new one waiting just beyond the threshold. At last, the moment arrives, the music softens, the laughter fades, and a hush settles over the room. All eyes turn to the couple as the groom steps forward, his movements slow and deliberate, almost as if he's crossing an invisible boundary. He reaches for the mask, the beads and sequins glinting in the light, and with great care, begins to lift it away. For the first time that day, her face is revealed. The crowd leans in, eager to witness the moment. Sometimes there are tears streaming down her cheeks, sometimes a shy smile. Occasionally, it's laughter that bursts through the solemnity, but always, it's charged with the kind of electricity as if, for a brief heartbeat, the veil between the physical and the spiritual has been drawn back. It's more than a reveal. It's a symbolic rebirth, the bride stepping into her new identity, the couple finally facing one another without barriers. Two people, bound together, having just passed through a ritual meant to shield them from envy, misfortune, and all the unseen forces the world might send their way. In a world that seems to move faster with every passing day, traditions like the Sad Bride Festival stand as a quiet reminder. Marriage, in many cultures, is far more than a signature on paper or a night of celebration. It's a sacred passage, a threshold between two chapters of life, surrounded by ritual, symbolism, and meaning. Whether or not you believe in the evil eye, it's hard not to be moved by the sight of an entire community rallying around a single person, determined to protect and honor her on one of the most important days of her life. In Rybnovo, this isn't just about nostalgia, it's about keeping alive a thread that ties the present to the deep, mysterious past, ensuring that, even in a changing world, some moments remain timeless. If you enjoyed this journey into one of the world's most hauntingly beautiful wedding traditions, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be the first to know when we bring you our next story from the farthest and most fascinating corners of the earth. And if you're ready for another tradition that will leave you speechless, click over to our next video where we uncover a festival fueled by roaring flames, heart-pounding danger, and an ancient promise made to the gods. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.